and you've got investigators that are really not in good communication with you on that.
And to improve the operations of the Department of the Interior.
Yeah, I would say that answer is unsatisfactory. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Time of the gentleman has expired. Chair recognizes the gentleman from California, Mr. McClintock.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Kendall, I'd like to focus on the Klamath Basin studies. According to your letter to the chairman of July 20th, you state, quote, given the comprehensiveness of the governing agreements, the transparency being given to the process, and the complete absence to date of any complaints about the manner in which this effort is proceeding, the OIG does not have any plans to conduct any additional reviews at this time. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That there's been a complete absence to date of any complaints about the manner in which the Klamath Basin studies are proceeding?
We have not received any.
Ms. Kendall, on February 24th, an 11-page complaint was filed with the Office of the Executive Secretariat and Regulatory Affairs of the Department of the Interior. It documented allegations of systematic, scientific, and scholarly misconduct relating to the Klamath River Dam removal secretarial determination process. And it wasn't filed by some gadfly. It was filed by Dr. Paul Hauser of George Mason University, who was at the time the Bureau of Reclamation's science advisor and science integrity officer. Specifically, he documented the intentional falsification of scientific results contained in the September 21, 2011 summary of key conclusions of the draft EIS-EIR and related scientific and technical reports, and intentional circumvention of the policy that ensures the integrity of science and scholarship and actions that compromise scientific and scholarly integrity. Now, given the well-documented complaint of political tampering with scientific data made by the official directly responsible for overseeing the scientific integrity of these studies, your statement that there's been a, quote, complete absence of any complaints about the manner in which the Klamath Basin study is proceeding is absolutely stunning. So I'd ask you again, have there been, in your words, a complete absence to date of any complaints about the manner in which the Klamath Basin studies are proceeding?
Perhaps I needed to be more complete to the Inspector General's office. If that complaint was referred to our office, I was not aware of it.
Well, wouldn't that be of prime interest to the Inspector General's office? Any reasonably competent Inspector General, wouldn't they be somewhat concerned of such allegations by an official responsible for protecting the scientific integrity of these studies?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I'd ask unanimous consent to insert in the record the Inspector General's letter to you of July 20th and the complaint filed by Dr. Hauser February 24th.
It'll appear in the record without objection.
Ms. Kendall, has the Department of Interior received any complaints by that former official or others alleging scientific integrity violations concerning removal of the dams?
I would not know what the department has received necessarily. Usually things are referred to us. I'd have to go back and check.
One of the concerns that has been expressed here at this hearing and elsewhere, Ms. Kendall, is a complete lack of focus on the principal responsibilities of the Inspector General. This report, these allegations of scientific falsification of scientific data, were not exactly a secret. They were widely reported in newspaper articles across the Pacific Northwest. Mr. Chairman, I'd also ask unanimous consent to insert in the record articles on this subject from the Reading Record Searchlight, the Capital Press, and the Daily Caller.
Without objection, they'll appear in the record.
Did you not consider... You have said that you would consider this of interest to the Inspector General's office, but you have not looked into it?
I do not know that we've looked into it. I think it's something we should look into.
Why hasn't it? Why haven't you looked into it?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not aware of it, sir.
Have you or anyone in your office, to your knowledge, had any discussion with the Secretary's office, including the Chief of Staff, about Dr. Hauser's complaint or your office's investigation of it?
None that I'm familiar with, no.
In the list of complaints that you provided to the committee, there is one by Kira Finkler. Is that correct?
If that's in the documents...
What was that regarding?
I don't know.
Well, Kira Finkler was Dr. Hauser's boss at the Bureau of Reclamation. She was the official to whom he originally brought these allegations. Her response was to fire him. She's also the person who was overseeing the Klamath Dam Restoration Agreement, to which Trout Unlimited is a signatory, and she was employed by Trout Unlimited from 2004 to 2007, but did not recuse herself from the Klamath project, even in light of this apparent conflict of interest. Now, I'll ask you again, a complaint regarding her was in your list of complaints provided to the committee. What is that about?
You provided me enough information now to, I do remember that we received this complaint. I don't have detailed information about what happened to it. We could get back to you on that.
This is absolutely stunning. This is a significant matter. It involves a proposal that has huge environmental, fiscal, and economic impact throughout the entire region, and you seem oblivious to it. I find that remarkable. And, Mr. Chairman, I would like us to further this inquiry at a later time.
Time of the gentleman has expired. And that's an interest that is of interest to the committee. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Florida, Mr. Sutherland.